Hello, today's game is Smiley versus the Grumpies. So we've got to go back to January 1985 and that issue of Computing with the Amstrad, which can mean only one thing. Yes, there it is. Issue number 1, very first edition of Computing with the Amstrad, costing £1. And I think this is a little bit of a gem, especially for a first issue of a magazine. Smiley versus the Grumpies, page 34. Another game by Roland Waddilove. We saw one of his games on the 12th of December, you may remember. It was called Egg Blitz. So, very good, sort of well-presented games from this particular gentleman. It's basically a Pacman style game, but for something that you could program in yourself from a magazine, it really is a treat. And there's an illustration of Smiley getting caught by the Grumpies. That's roughly what the screen will look like. That's the code. Looks like we've made a few notes there, actually. It's probably my dad's writing or something like that. Right, let's get started. So there we are, Smiley versus the Grumpies. We've got to guide Smiley around the maze, and we've got to collect the coloured buttons, watching out for the 3 Grumpies that try and catch us. So, keyboard or joystick, we'll use keyboard. There we go, up, down, left, right, and press space to start. So let's go and have a look and see what this sort of Pacman clone is like. Let's have a go. So we are the white Smiley there in the top left of the screen, and we've got to avoid the 3 Grumpies. We've got the blue, the yellow and the red. The blue Grumpy is the slowest, the red is the medium speed Grumpy, and the yellow is the fastest. So we've got to move our Smiley around the maze and collect all these buttons on the floor. And this isn't too bad for something that you would have programmed by yourself in BASIC from a book or a magazine. You can see we've got the sort of traditional bonus timer there, counting down. We might get a bonus. It's a little bit easier to get bonuses in this game than it is in some of the others. Just got the last few to collect now, and just there we go. Screen 1 completed. So all the screens are the same, different colours, but the maze pattern is the same. And things are moving just a little bit more quickly now than they did in the first level. The game speeds up a bit as you complete a level and move on to a fresh one. I think the game speeds up when you lose a life as well. I'm not sure whether that's intentional or not, but I think that happens as well. And that's the whole game. As far as I know, there's an infinite number of levels, but I assume if it gets fast enough it'll become too difficult to play in the later levels. Just about escaped that. Nearly got boxed in. Screen 2 completed. So we'll play this out now as far as we can go, and I hope you enjoyed that video, Smiley versus the Grumpies, from Computing with the Amstrad #1, all the way back in January 1985. Bye for now.
Bye.